Greetings, everyone, and thank you all so much for tuning in and coming to visit. I love y'all so much. Love me so much. Love y'all so much. Okay. And so today, what I am going to do for some, this would be like a reminder episode, you know what I mean? Um, of all the different aspects that I channel, you know. We're going to talk about them a little bit more. There may be some additives, maybe some of the same information, maybe just a different way of translating it which will make it feel like new information. But as everybody knows, I am your official fairy godmother. I am a fairy having a human experience. We can take that so many ways. You know what I'm saying? As we are fractal pieces, we deal with fractal pieces. Okay. And so you are made up of so many fractal pieces. And so one of those pieces is your mystical, magical self. And for Minty, that fits their theme in this focus in this lifetime. And so they will be drawn to mystical map things. Okay. And so I do channel the fairies. I feel like I said, like I am a fairy having a human experience. The self of me that is projecting myself into this reality comes from the fairy dimension. Okay. We go so many places with that. Okay. But just to keep the focus here, because y'all know I will go and probably cause more confusion than translation. All right. So anyway, so I do channel the fairies, but I also channel 15 and aspects come out of me all the time. And I call them aspects. Other people may call them entities or energies, but I call them aspects because they're aspects of yourself. They're aspects of your inner universe, right? And so the term that has been coined is the fundamentals of creation. So this means that each aspect that I channel is in everyone. You can consider it like the template. Okay, it's in everyone. Your insides have now come out. Okay, this is what you wanted, and so I'm here to deliver it. Okay, it's time for us to get to know us, getting to know you, getting to know all about you. You know, because many really think that the outer world is what's influencing their inner world when that's not it, right? Your inner world is being projected out. And so everything that you have been taught that has control or power outside of you is bullshit. And it is that time in this focus, in this era to get a grip on that, you know, as a collective. Okay. And so as of like I said, as of now, it's 15 aspects, but I have a feeling there's gonna be more. I know for fact, let me not say I have a feeling. I know for a fact that there's going to be more because of aspects that I'm aware of that I have not started channeling. And so, what many people don't know about this channel is like my diary. You know what I mean? I have only been channeling in this way for about a year and a half. About a year and a half. But I have been doing readings and, you know, about this life for 20 years. How old am I? I be forgetting how old I am. For 20 something years. Okay. Um, so that's that. We call ourselves the fundamentals of creation. And so the point of this video is to get into the functionality or the mechanisms of these fundamentals that are inside of us because there's different viewpoints to look at this. You can look at this as characters. And let me make that point clear too, is that all these aspects is inside of everyone, but because we are having an individual experience, your expression may be different. You know what I'm saying? Your titles are, of course, going to be different. It's the same characters, just you personalizing them with expression and titles or names. We like titles. All right. And so you can think of it as like a template. All right. Or the default that every vessel comes in with, every universe has. All right. And so, like I said, we're going to be looking at it from different ways. And so the character and also the functionality, like how it assists in your universe, the functionality or the mechanisms that they are and how they function inside of your vessel, you know? So, like, real quick, for example, my Akasha, which most people confuse with the Akashic records, she ain't that. My Akasha, I named her Akasha, is the vampiric energy, the vampiric aspect. And so she's her functionality or her the mechanism. I can talk. I swear I can talk. She's a vampiric energy. So she is about the ability to absorb energy, right? And disperse it. So, like your incubus, succubus, you know what I'm saying? The mechanism that assists you with absorbing energy and giving it out. Okay? So, that's that. I also want to make it clear that, one of the main objectives of this channel and why I'm out publicly like this, because this ain't my zhish. Well, it is now. Let me not say that. This was not my zhish, right? It's community. It is now that time in our era and our focus to get back into community. This is going to be a difficult process for most because we have been so programmed to be in seclusion. You're going through something. Go crawl in your hole and be by yourself. Don't get no support to keep us divided, because if we're united, then we start to see our powers for real. More people's powers come online. The knowing of more of who you be comes online. The remembering, you know, comes online. And the, those that are trying to control the masses, baby, that's not their cup of tea. Okay. And so it's time to get out of being controlled and knowing your own inner power, knowing your own authority, and standing on that 10 toes down and being very clear that there is nothing or no one outside of you that is in control of you, that has power over you or authority, right? And the more and more we come together, the more and more, like my favorite example is this is a big ass puzzle, right? And we're all pieces to the puzzle. So we play a very intricate and special part in this reality, in this puzzle game that we're playing. uh, you know, um, so yeah, so it's about community and also just being a resource for those, because shit, for the next 4 years, like real tough, like a lot of people's gifts are going to be coming online. And um there's, with the level of awareness in some spaces, motherfuckers just can't come out, and talk to any and everybody about this. And then a lot of people are still in that, operating in that program, in that mindset, and don't want to come out, you know what I'm saying, and just be publicly talking about this or talking about it amongst their peers because it's weird. You know what I'm saying? As of now, it's weird. It's still abnormal. Okay. And so I would like for this space here, this channel where I channel, to be a resource also for people, especially when you're first coming online, especially for those that are not part of the so-called conscious and spiritual community. Um, to be able to have a resource and come in and be like, oh, damn, this is what's going on with my body. This is what's happening to my mind. Because this shit, for real, like now I see why uh they use the what we call the crazy house as a place to lock up people, because if you have no spiritual awareness and you are really playing the human game, like the 3D, like you're all that exists, this human, um this could fuck your head up. It's spooky, weird, crazy, amazing. You know what I'm saying? When your gifts really come online, you know. So just being that resource for people and being that safe haven for people that want to also, you know, come on and let this be their like training ground. You know what I'm saying? Or where they pop out the spiritual closet, you know? All right, so having said all of that, this is kind of like a reintroduction. You know what I mean? I don't do this much. I just go. I just go. And so I'm clear, you know, that after a year and a half, we probably especially with all the workings that I got going on behind the scenes, that we're gonna have to re-let the people know what's going on. Instead of motherfuckers just coming to the channel like, she's entertaining, but what the fuck is going on? Like, who is she channeling? Like, who are these beings? Like, what is going, like, you know what I mean? And so yeah, so we're gonna I'm trying to look for ways to explain how this process is gonna go, but you know, that's just my human self. My real self is like, yeah, no, we just gonna go with the flow, and however it pops off is how it pops off. All right. So, again, we're about to get into some very simplistic, as we said, we like to keep the language very simple. Like I literally lost my fucking mind. Everybody knows like I was super intellectual, super logic. I didn't understand spirituality without science. Um, so to basically like lose your mind, your lingo, how you speak, where logic ain't logicking. It don't even, you know what I mean? And to be on a trajectory where you're completely surrendered to yourself, you know, to the higher aspects of yourself, um, is not easy to. It's almost, you know, I've heard someone talk to, you know, back in the day doing research, I heard someone talk about someone having a stroke, you know. And one of the things that was said was like, it's like knowing the word, like you can see the word in your mind's eye, you know the word, but when it comes to speaking it, like it's hard to speak it out. So that's what kind of happened to me. It's like sometimes I can see words, you know what I mean? But I can't speak them out. Or I'll know that I'm used to using a different word here. And I can't get it out, you know? So when that first happened to me, I was scared. I was really scared. I thought I was losing my mind. I was like, oh shit, this is what it feels like when people got to check themselves into the crazy house. You know what I mean? Like my human self went into panic, and then I was able to calm down and just, I was already in my walk. So I was able to like just come from a space of how is this benefiting me? How is this working for me? You know? And then that's when I realized that I was stepping more into my feminine self and my intuition, you know, and then I just started knowing things and didn't know, I'm used to collecting data, like actually out here doing research. And, like I was that person that was in the libraries with a million books on the table. I used to sit at the big table by myself. Not as some libraries, I got the big ass round table or the big ass square table, it's like several seats there. Nah, bro, I had that whole table and it just be full of books and I'd be there. I could just get lost in that shit all day, and so now it's a completely different trajectory. There are so many things that have happened in this journey um, that can make you feel crazy. And if you like me, crazier than you already uh, know yourself to be, because we not ordinary, we extra ordinary. Especially me, I'm super extra. Okay. So yeah, I think that's all the talking. I feel like I've been talking for a while. But get used to it. I'm a Gemini. That's what I do. That's what I came here to do. It's to talk and spread the data. All right. So let's hop into this thing and see what the fuck happens because I don't even know what's about that. Okay. Except for what the fuck I just told you. And that's because I was told to tell you that. Okay. So let's see what happens. I have no idea. We are Alexandria. We are the fairies, and we are here. And what an interesting time we are going to have today. And so, we would like for you to get comfortable in your seats and pay attention. What fun, what fun, what fun. Oh, the joy that we will bring for you today. Yes. Open your hearts, open your minds, and come outside of your box. Many of you have put yourselves in a box. We say to come outside of the box. Yes? Okay. And so we will start with ourselves. Yes, we are the fairies and we are coming from upper dimensions. And some of you will look at upper dimensions as if one is more superior than the next. And we would like to tell you that these are all planes of thoughts, what you are calling dimensions. Yes. And it is not that one is better than the other. It is merely that there are different games being played. There are all kinds of games being played. As has been told to you, you are a fractal piece, and there are fractal pieces of you everywhere. And things are happening on a macro and micro level. The same things are happening on the small scale and a big scale. Yes? And so, just as there is a you that is projecting itself into this game, there are many yous, other versions of you projecting themselves into many different games. Yeah? Okay. And so, in this particular focus, we are the fairies and we are having a human experience. We have come here to this plane for a particular reason. We come, you would call it time. We would simply call it certain patterns that play out, that must play out because of probabilities and choices that have been made by the collective. Now, these are your translation purposes for if we were to speak to you in real terms of how everything goes, you would not understand because this is not how you yourself communicate. We would be speaking a foreign language that you can not even begin to fathom. Yes. And so we will use your terminologies. Okay. And so we will say because there are certain probabilities of ways that things play out. And because of the decisions that have been made as a collective, you come and during certain time eras, we like patterns. During certain time eras, there is a particular focus or a theme and we come every time there is a correction that needs to be made to bring things back into balance. Now, You humans are very extreme. You will go from one extreme to the next. And so you have reached the point to where you have been to the extremes. You have been to the very low vibration. Imagine a frequency, and there is a vibration pulsating inside of the frequency. Yes? And so you can go so low to where you are very, very pulsating in this vibration. It is very, very, everything is constantly moving, pulsating. Everything is constantly moving or pulsating. Everything is constantly moving or pulsating. And you can go so low in the frequency that there is barely any pulsation. And then you can go so high into the frequency where you can burst. There is so much movement and so much going on that you burst out of this frequency. Yes? And when you burst out of this frequency, that is what you are calling transitions. And you will go and play from your perspective an upper level game. Okay? And so when this takes place, which has taken place, Minty have decided to keep their light focused here. You will see this talked about in a lot of cultures, your Tibetan culture, your Hindus, where the subjects have decided to elevate, expand, float away, leave their bodies at will. Yes? But keep their physical bodies here and keep their bodies in astral. Now, many of them stay in this state just because they still want to be anchored here in this focus to assist this particular game, to assist this collective with a particular game. Okay? And so they will leave their bodies here so that they could come back in or still be able to communicate. They will still keep ties here. Instead of completely transitioning and breaking off and going to whatever focus their soul sends them to. Okay? And us as the fairies. What we do here is we come back in these eras or these time frames or these patterns, as we would like to say, and we adjust. We assist in adjusting, okay, the balance here. In order to win the game, to have an optimal experience, there must be balance or what we are calling harmony. The vibration in all frequencies must resonate with harmony. That is what you would call perfection, optimal experiences. Yes, the heaven on the earth. And we all love these as spectators of this game because these are what you would call favorable timelines. Let's just say you enjoy before you come into Minty Spaces, you like, oh, let's go shopping. Some of you, this is what you do, yes? You go shopping through the different timelines. You say, oh, I would like to hop into this one and change this one. Oh, let's take a clip from here and bring it here. You can orchestrate this. And those we will call you characters. Those characters have different roles for the different themes of when they come in. For us, this is the role that we always play. We assist again with the harmony, with the energy vibrating at a frequency that resonates with harmony. Everything is energy that is vibrating at a frequency. You can say that you are walking sound. You can say that you are walking instruments. This would all be accurate. You can say that everything around you is an instrument, that it is sound. Yes? because everything is vibrating at a frequency. And so, from the backstage, yes, what we are doing, what we assist the universe in, what you would like to call nature, what we assist the universe in is being the function that generates the electricity that assists with forcing the electricity through to create a picture, a projection, a hologram. We are sound lights that travels through to help you see what you are knowing as form. That is the very simplistic way to explain it. And next, you have the power. Power is the force. Power is what is needed from your nature standpoint. You need force to generate, to push through, to circulate, to provide currency. Are you getting the idea? You need the force. And so this is what power looks like. And so inside of your individual universe, now we will switch perspectives, we will switch viewpoints. And from your human standpoint, this character, power, is what sustains or assists in sustaining your life force. Many of you that feel powerless, how long does it take before you transition? For those of you that have known individuals that have lived in the illusion that they are powerless, how long did it take for them to transition? Your power makes up the force, the drive of your human spacesuit, of your vessel. And many of you are like, oh, here are the keys to my spacesuit, to my spaceship, to my human body. You just take it over. And so you give that force, that power to entities, beings outside of yourself. And what does this look like? Poor health, poor mental health, poor emotional health. Yes, you will create this illusion. And so, next we will deal with your authority. Your authority is your so-called permission, because many of you humans feel like you need permission to be here. Your permission is your authority. Your authority is your right to be here. It is the same difference. Do you understand? When you decide to come here and play this game, it was with authority. This is the thing that comes in with you in order for you to play the game, in order for you to come through, there must be authority. Now, the same thing with the power is that if you give away your so-called authority, then you will shrink, you will be small, and pretty soon you will be non-existent to the rest of the human eyes. And so therefore you will perish, you will transition out. These are very important fundamentals of your universe, of your inner nature, is your power and your authority. Your power and your authority, your force, life force, and your authority, your right to be here, your right to be attached to a soul. These power and your authority are directly connected, streamlined, mainline to the soul. This is very important because your soul is the bigger party. Your soul is the major party here, having an experience. You are living in your soul's dream. And your soul, you can consider your soul the biggest hard drive. And your soul is having an infinite amount of experiences and collecting it in its hard drive. And then it connects streamline, mainline to another hard drive. We will call this the soul factory. Yes, to the soul factory, and the soul factory connects, for your translation purposes, we will say, to your source, to darkness, and streams all of the data information to source. This is for our translation purposes so that you can understand the certain processes of your fractal piece and how important it is and how small it is and how large it also is. Macro and micro, yes? And so we will go to the water. The water now, we will say that water is the fluids, all of the fluids that are in your inner nature, okay? The flow of it. And so that is simple. We feel that you can understand that. That is nothing behind that or around the bush for you. You can simply understand the fluid and the motion and the flow and the currency of any type of fluid. This includes your plasma, your blood, yes, all of the chemicals that come with your spacesuit, okay? Working, flowing, moving properly. You can consider this water. Now, to turn it and look from a different vantage point, a different viewpoint, water is the space where creation takes place. You can think of water as space. So all of these spaces in your body, in your nature, in your universe, creates. And so this is where you create. This is where you are created, and this is where you create. We feel that that is very simple and transparent. You can have minty things in minty different spaces. For instance, in your human existence, you walk on the land and you consider this to be a space. Yes? This is also your water in a different state. You can go into your oceans. And this is a different space. And creation takes place here. You can look at your sky, and that is actually very hilarious. You can look at your sky, you can look at your atmosphere, and you can see space, and creation is happening there. Now, the unfortunate thing for most of you and many of you will transition without having to bear witness with your eyes, with your physical eyes, not your mind's eye, your physical eyes, and really see your reality for what it is. It would be pure chaos for some of you. It will break your minds. This is why it happens gradually, so that your spacesuit can hold the bandwidth, so that your spacesuit can hold the data and it not be too much data for you to process and break down the spacesuit. We will say this, okay? But in all actuality, what you are calling dimensions, planes of thoughts, other realities are all playing out right next to you, right in front of you, right behind you, diagonal, up, above you, below you, in all directions of you that you can imagine, yeah, and see and know. There are realities happening and going on simultaneously. There are different versions of you that are playing the game right here. Yes. Just as you can close your eyes and go travel in your mind, you can do this in your outer reality. Remember that this is key, that your insides are only being projected outside. So it would only make sense that if all of this can take place in your mind, all of this can take place in your reality. You have been taught to ignore your imagination. You have been taught that your imagination is a bad thing, that your imagination is a made-up thing. It is full of illusions and things of this nature. And we are here to tell you that it is your imagination that creates worlds, that creates realms, that creates realities, that creates dimensions. Yeah. Your imagination is a major player. Okay? we would like to say this. Oh, are you catching on? You say imagination. When will you meet imagination? This is a good question. We have answered it, but it is coming soon for you. We will have so much fun with the unleashing of the imagination. Yeah. We know there are so many questions. We love it. We love it. Yes, you can think of your imagination as energy, as an entity that you can speak and chat with. Yes. And get to know your imagination as a child. This was so normal. This was your way of life, your imagination. And now you have lost it. You have been steered away from it. But your imagination is everything. It is everything. It is a beautiful thing. Yes. And so we would like to inform you that everything and anything that you can imagine that is inside of your vessel, these are thoughts, you can project them out. And so if this is a possibility, then there must be common sense taking place that tells you that all of the dimensions, all of the realities exist right before your eyes. And the more you open yourself to it, meaning you are saying that, oh, this is possible. I can imagine this. Or for those of you that have little imaginations, you say, I cannot imagine this. Imagination, give me a preview of what it looks like and really believe it, really feel it. You will start to see little subtleties in your simulation, in your reality, in your projected reality that will spook you out a little bit, yes, but you will not give yourself more than you can handle. So it will be bite-sized breadcrumbs for you, as you follow the pieces to the big piece of bread. We love it. We love it. And so next we would like to talk about chaos. Now, chaos also has a bad rep. Many of our fundamentals of creation they have the bad reps. Yes, yes, they do. Okay. So we have the chaos. Minty would like to stay away from the chaos, but without the chaos, you would not exist. This is why they are called the fundamentals of creation, because you need all of them to provide your reality so that you can exist and play in this game and have an experience as if you are actually here, as if you are actually alive playing in this game. Yes. Oh, how fun, how perfect, how majestic this game is that you really feel and think that you are really here. And without chaos, that would not be possible, because with the chaos is how everything can work all at the same time over infinite amount of reality, over the infinite amount of you, and still be perfect enough to create a system in which works for you, benefits you, no matter what fractal piece of you is playing in whatever game. Chaos contributes to you being able to tune in, tune out of awareness. Tune in and tune out into many different consciousnesses. This is all because of the chaos. And so, simply put, we will say that chaos is things happening all at one time, things happening simultaneously and functioning perfectly and in alignment with all that is. Okay? And then we will go to magic. Avesa likes mama magic. Magic is everything and everywhere. Simply the fact that you can look in front of you, open your eyes and look in front of you, and you can see things in form. This is magic because there is no form around you, dear ones. The fact that you can touch, rub, feel, make love. Oh, the magic. You can make love and you can create little human vessels inside of your big vessel. Yes, you can have little spaceships being created in your big spaceship. How wonderfully perfect and magical that is, huh? You have magic and chaos working together to provide major components to this game. Major spaces for you to create in and be in. How magnificent. Okay. And so now we would like to talk about this subject. Our vessel has had many questions on this, and we would like to give some clarifications, and maybe these clarifications will be for you too. Wink, wink. Ha 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 ha. We know they will be. And so for many of you, what you are calling ancestors are just former yous. Okay, we will say this loud and clear. What you are calling ancestors are merely just former yous. And this is the aspects of yourselves that have come and played the game. And they are here to assist you with remembering what roles you have played before or after. Time is not of the essence. We would like for you all to start wrapping your mind around there not being time, because time also controls how you see and perceive your reality. Okay? And so many times they will tell you that something is the past when it is not the past. It is actually your future. And they will tell you things that are supposedly your future, which are actually your past. And they will tell you that all of this is your past and your future, and your past and your future are very important when this is simply not true. Your here and your now in your present is what is the most critical. Okay. We'll take a pause for you to take that in, because it is very crucial that you stay focused on what is your present and what is going on in your present. In your present moment is all that matters, and what you are focused in on. If you would like to manifest quicker for many of you, this is so hard because you cannot stop thinking about your past and your future. And so you stay focused there, which creates these spaces, these realities for you. If you are focused here in the moment, in the now, you will see a lot more manifest right before your very eyes, and what you are calling miracles and luck right before your eyes, because you are focused more presently instead of being anchored to your past. Okay. And so ancestors are merely here for you to be able to remember. All right, whatever lifetimes that you have lived or are living, yes, that support or kind of assist or have the same similar theme to what you are doing now in this focus is what you will be anchored to, what your so-called ancestors will be sending you messages of. Your previous selves will be sending you messages. These are forms of yourselves. We need you to be very clear on that and give respect to yourself. Honor yourself for these experiences that have been had that contribute to your here and now and the evolution of your here and now, the expansion of your here and now, the change of you in the here and now. Now, for our vessel, this is the matriarch. We like and coin the term the mighty wands. And this is simply because in your reality, all of you have agreed as a collective consciousness. Yes, you have agreed as a collective consciousness that what you are calling the woman, is the physical representation here in your outside world of the creator. And so, if this is your truth, if this is what you all have agreed upon as a collective, then this is a very special being. This is a very special representation, and it must be treated as such. And our vessel has come here, as she does in Minty Focuses, to remind the consciousness here that this is what you agreed upon. And what simply must be is the love. When you have deep honor, respect, reverence, that is supreme, divine, optimal love that precedes that. And when there is supreme, optimal love, then the Minty of you can win the game and celebrate and have your heaven on earth and your bliss here. The more fun you will have, what you are calling low vibrational now will cease to exist and be none of the sorts. Like, instead of you having your children tampered with, violated, being left with complete strangers, huh? That is very low vibrational. You will have things happening such as, oh, I got into a car accident, and that would be the lowest of the lowest. That would be so extreme. They got into a car accident. You must turn in. These will be your lowest of the lows. And it is now time to change the trajectory of what is low vibrational. And so we are here. We are here to sprinkle, 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 sprinkle the fairy dust on top, raising the vibration of all frequencies. It is now time. Yes? Okay. And so now we have the Lucifer, everyone's favorite character. It's very controversial, the Lucifer, but we will say that Lucifer is simply your way of collecting data. You are having a light experience. You are playing in what we call the light realms. There are many different realms. As we have said, this game can get very complicated as there are many parts. We could say minty for trillions of times, and it still would not cover the intricate parts that make up so many games that you play in so many instances. And so, for translation purposes, we will say that there is a light realm and there is a dark realm. We call the dark realm nothingness, nothing. The theme there is not to be of form. It is a lot of nothingness going on. Wrap your minds around that, yes? And then the light realm is form. And so here, in order to play the light realm, you must have light bodies. You must be able to collect the data in this light realm. As the light realm is not, as we will say, many of you, this will confuse many of you, but you will find clarity later. We understand. We are letting you know. We are saying this out loud. We are addressing this, that this will cause confusion for many of you, and this is okay. Okay? It will be cleared up for you. And so we would say that light is not a natural state, meaning when your universe came to be, as you would say, it was complete darkness. Darkness is your source. Everything comes from darkness. So light was not original. Light is not original form. Darkness is original form. And so this is what we mean by, we will not say that it's not natural because it comes from nature, because nature is your darkness. Yes, nature is darkness. Everything comes from darkness. And so, because it has come out, it is projected out. Light is projected out from darkness, and it has its own construct and its own realms, yes, in which creates infinite games for the fractal pieces of all of us to play in. Okay? And so Lucifer is the mechanism in which she gets such a bad rep because Lucifer assists you with being able to expand your bandwidth to collect data. And in this process of collecting data, guess what you must have? You must have desires because your desires is the reason, from your human standpoint, from your viewpoint, your desires are the reason you collect the data. And so, of course, Lucifer would not only be in charge of assisting you functionality wise, assisting you in being able to expand yourself so that you can collect more data, but also assist with your desires. Hear us clearly. Assist with your desires so that you may collect more data in your light realm, in your light form. It is the light that illuminates the dark spaces so that you can see. Yes, for many of you, you are so caught up in light and light and light that your eyes have not adjusted in the darkness and therefore you cannot see. Or for many of you, you are so afraid, you have been programmed to stay away from your real source, that you are so afraid that you stay away from the darkness. And either way, your Luciferian aspect of you is what illuminates this darkness, illuminates your desires so that you can expand and collect more data. You want to know the purpose of living in life, it is to collect the data. The source is experiencing itself everywhere and nowhere. Darkness, your source, darkness, again, is experiencing itself. And so every fractal piece, every piece of the game, every participant is here to collect the data. Nothing or no one excluded. All parts. Okay, so we need to be very clear about this. So you have the Lucifer, and we have our wonderful, wonderful Akasha. She is amazing because in our vessel, not only many of you associate this with the Akashic records. This is not prolific in our vessel. And Akasha is simply a title that has been chosen by Akasha. Now, this is what is like to be called the vampiric energy because it can absorb energy. This is the way in which your spacesuit is able to absorb energy and give out energy. So many of you healers who have such a problem with the vampiric energy, this is how you use your powers. You give energy to assist Minty with their processes of healing. And then when your body has been through some things and it has given you the illusion that it is short on energy or in need of some more energy, this is the mechanism that assists you with being able to absorb and replenish your energies, rest your energies, recycle your energies, so that the vessel's spacesuit may function properly. This is important. And in our vessel, another way to look at this is Akasha herself. This is another form of our vessel but she is also having an experience. And in her experience, and for translation purposes, in her time frame, she is what we would call the first human, the first batch of humans. When you decided all in your collective that, oh, we want to be human, we want to come out of these bodies. We want to trade bodies and we would like to try this one on for size. We would like to drive in this spacesuit. When you come to this conclusion, you are coming from reptilian beings. Yes, you are all the reptiles, reptilian forms. You have all been snakes. You have all been robots. You have all been everything. Yes, it's just what you tune into this focus is what has the theme for you, similar themes. So you will tie into those different experiences and those different so-called lifetimes. Yes, you can archive them and you can tap in. You can read your own libraries. Huh? Okay. And so she is having that experience now, and the way she was able to tune in with herself in this lifetime is what you are calling your official fairy godmother, yes? The way she was able to do that was to drink of her own blood. And then she had a very magical experience. It's very similar to taking your plant medicines. We do not like this term. Your hallucinogens. You're hallucinating all day long. What does this mean? But she was able to tap into this life, and so we do not want to further explain this because we do not want to further complicate, but we will take that topic as our vessel would say, and we will set it right there. This is the major point, okay? This is how you re-energize. This is how you give energy to assist others. This is how you neutralize your energy. This is how you circulate energy is through your vampiric aspect, okay? And so next, stepping up to the plate, we have another controversial character, and we will call her Lila. We love the Lila. Lilith has a lot to do with your memory and how you remember. Remember that everything outside of you is only signs and symbols. Yes? Okay. And so your signs and symbols have messages for you. This is you talking to yourself. And in talking to yourself, you may perceive it as another human, another your child, your lover, your best friend, These are all signs and symbols. Your vehicle, your trees, your everything outside of you is signs and symbols. And they have messages for you. Okay? And so Lilith is the mechanism that assists you with remembering. She is also plays a major role in your levels of awareness and how you can drop more and more illusions or veils, okay? And raise, so-called raise your levels of awareness. Yes? And from a human standpoint, the character Lilith is here to remind you not to conform, not to get caught up in the systems that are made and created outside of you to control you from the inside out. Okay, because she is here to assist you with remembering. She is part of the memory game. Okay, she is here to assist you with awareness. And so, if she's here to assist you with awareness, why would she conform? Why would she be teaching you how to be a quiet little pup and sit when you are told to sit? Eat when you are giving food to eat. Drink when you are giving water to drink. She will tell you to do as you please. And if anyone has a problem with it, oh, you can tell them where to stick it. Ah, yes. And so, we would like to be complete for now. We're gonna go back in. I'm not sure why they had me hop out. Do I need to see something? Um, because we still have many, we still got the veil, we still got resonance. Um, oh, okay. All right, so let's just talk about that real quick. So veil is very interesting with the veil. So let me just say this. When we say give the illusion of, like give the illusion that you have blockages, give the illusion that you are less than perfect, because the totality of who you be is always perfect. You are always perfect. It is this human experience where you create illusions that deem you less than. You know what I'm saying? And so we could call illusions, uh, like trauma happening to you, so-called trauma, something that really disturbs you. You know what I'm saying? So now you have an illusion that uh your energy is blocked from here, and so you're depressed, you're tired. You know what I'm saying? Like that's an illusion because it's something that you created in your mind. It doesn't really exist for real. You know what I'm saying? And so the veil is we talk to the veil, and so it's the veil is something that is not created or made up. It's like an excuse. Like, oh, we can now talk to our ancestors because the veil has been lifted. Or we can now travel to this dimension, or we can now see aliens, or we can now, talk to grandma and grandpa because the veil is lifted. That's an excuse we make when we create an illusions to block our perfection and the perfection of this reality. And keeping the faith that it makes sense. I'm such a Gemini, and I like to explain things from all these different perspectives so that so many people in different ranges and and ways of thinking can get it. But I end up causing confusion for those who got it the way that I was saying it in the first place. Then they think that they got it, and then they heard me explain it or translate it in a completely different way. And then they're like, oh shit, maybe I don't got it. When you do got it, I'm just saying it different. And so I'm gonna stop that and allow for the audience to hmm, and allow for the audience to ask questions if they have questions on whatever. Okay. And then another aspect is Tati. Tati, I call her Tati. Tati is what I call my shadow side. So what's very interesting about the shadow, and this will be controversial for some, is the shadow is your original form. Okay, remember that you come from darkness. And so what is shadow? The darker side of you. So I'll leave that right there. Um, the underworld. That gets super complex. And every time, like for instance, water takes me and we go off on one of our fun, creative ass missions. Particularly we went through months talking about the underworld. Um, It is so many different ways to see the underworld because from certain vantage point and from certain entities, let's use this is just for fun, for translation purposes, okay? Let's just use aliens, right? From an alien standpoint, because they tell you that there is an outer space, even though there's no outer space, right? They tell you that there's outer space and that aliens are coming from all these different planets that are outer space, right? So from that perspective, because we created that because most believe that. And I mean, like it's a huge number of the collective that believe that. So it's been created because people believe it. Just like people believe, it's an argument that Jesus exists. Well, of course he fucking existed because there's so many people that believe in this character. So the motherfucker has to exist because there's so many people that's the story they're telling themselves. So that reality has been created, right? And so it's like if you're looking from the viewpoint of an alien, you know what I'm saying? Like what we're calling land is the underworld. If you're looking from uh land beings, they have all these names for this shit, like extraterrestrial, terror terrestrial, all these names. Y'all know I ain't doing that here, okay? But just to, because I just heard that in my head, so I know like someone is watching this now correcting me saying that shit, right? But anyway, so to the land beings, you know what I'm saying? Like the oceans and shit are like the underworld. You know what I mean? And so to those that live in the ocean, beneath the ocean floor is the underworld, and it just keeps going. And, you know what I'm saying? So that's very interesting. Uh the underworld. And so what I'm getting is we're going to get more in depth with these other aspects further down the line because certain information we're responsible for giving out. It's not time to give out. But anyway, we only didn't I only didn't channel the underworld um reverence. Is it? Yeah. I don't think is it. No, it is reverence. Oh, it is reverence. My body just instantly. So reverence, when I channel her, it's like singing. It doesn't necessarily rhyme sometimes, or but she just sings like this, and hi, how's everyone doing? And like she sings. And reverence is crucial because this is like your ability to project. How do you describe that? That's so reverence is your ability to it assists with your manifestation. And it assists with your manifestations because it makes you like that perfect magnet, and it so you can consider reverence like what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? Is it magnetized? Is that a word? It assists you in magnetizing uh streams of energy to you, you know. Um, like almost like, okay, so let me give you an example. That would be better. I don't know why they have me doing this instead of channeling, but it's so much fun. Okay. So let's just say that like you have gratitude, right? And that is your ritual every day. You awaken and you just give gratitude before you go to sleep. You give gratitude, you know what I'm saying? Throughout the course of the day, you try to bring that into your focus. You know what I'm saying? Is to have gratitude. So what ends up happening to you is everything that your vessel feels is gratitude, or that your higher self knows is gratitude for you. You will become a magnet for that. And so reverence is, just the bigger scale of gratitude, um, faith, uh, you know, what I'm trying to say? It's so clear what I'm channeling. But yeah. So reverence, and then I went over the veil. So stay tuned for these characters: the underworld, veil, reverence, and oh, and Tati the shadow. Um, I feel like a whole lot more will be told. Uh, there's a lot more breadcrumbs coming on that. But I just want to say too, about the shadow thing, right? That shit fucked me up. Like, I never thought about the shadow like being our original self. And then like as they were telling me this, because I did this on air, so this is on one of the shows, like I'm channeling. I was trying to like really get it, like it's like I conceptually understood it, but I didn't get it, if that makes sense. Like I was like, what? And so it's kind of like how it was described to me to help me understand was it's kind of like if you're drawing a picture, right? And the picture is formed. And so you're drawing a picture and at first you start with the outline, right? And then you fill everything in. So the outline is your shadow and the filling of everything in is you, the light, like this light body. So I I keep the faith that that assisted you like it assisted me. When that was told to me, I was like, "Oh, that makes so much sense." You know what I'm saying? Even though it made sense before because it's just common sense because we come source is darkness. We all come from darkness, so it only makes sense that you're taught to stay away from your motherfucking shadow. You're also taught like all these fucking negative things about your shadow, like to stay the fuck, you know what I mean? And like what the shadow is supposed to be and all of these things. And it only makes sense that they would lie, so that you couldn't tap in to a lot of your, let's say, original or authentic energies. Okay. That shit is deep. But anyway, so my shit is Tati. Her name is Tati. Okay. And Tati is popping. Tati is the one that Tati and Akasha be lit. Okay. Tati is the one that be like, "Ew." She be like twerking. And Akasha be lit just because, like she love Akasha reminds us to love on ourselves. Akasha reminds us that this body is the best fucking technology. Like, stop listening to these mofos. You know what I'm saying? Y'all getting caught up all up in this AI and all this other technology. You got to remember that all that is created comes from the creator. We are the creator. So it's like you just got to remember how advanced your spacesuit is. You know what I'm saying? Give some honor, praise, reverence to it. You know what I mean? So you can get to it. I mean, yo, I'm not encouraging anyone that has not taken plant medicine to take it if you're not attracted to it. You know what I'm saying? Or if it hasn't called to you. But damn, I mean, it's like it's so amazing because you like you can travel to like so many different spaces, so many different places. You know what I mean? And still be conscious of it. Amazing. Like that's how spectacular your spacesuit is. You know what I mean? Like what we're able to do, they're trying to get technology to catch up with it. Like they're mimicking our bodies, our minds, and how they work to make technology. All right. Um, So I think I'm done, y'all. I love y'all so much. All right. I love me so much too. I actually love me more, but I do love y'all so much. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for coming to hang out with me. Support your fairy godmother. This is my job. This is my only job. Okay. Support your fairy godmother and go ahead and book those readings. Go and take y'all asses over there to Patreon. See what we got going on. There's a lot of things being done behind the scenes for y'all. I'm excited for the next couple of months as the unfolding unfolds over these next couple of months. I'm super excited. The fairyland vortex is about to take the fuck off, oh guys. So go get your people, tell everybody to chime in, because don't be trying to get up when I get all popular and stuff, you know what I'm saying? To be no, it's fine. I'm really just um, but yeah, donate and thanks again. Let me give acknowledgement. I be just going into it, that I be forgetting to acknowledge, but I do want to acknowledge y'all so much. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Getting y'all readings, staying up on it, donations. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all know my shit ain't monetized and all the things yet. It's coming, but not all the things yet. Okay. So I don't just get up here like other people do and they go on live and all this shit and they got the peoples in the chats and, sending the smoney's. Now y'all got to come on over to the cash apps, okay, and send the smoney's. Go on over to the Patreon, Go and get that $10. It's $10. $10. Make you holla. We got fairy decks. We got shit for sale. We got frequency wear. Okay. We got the things going on. We got the things popping. Okay. I love y'all so much. Peace, love, and bliss. Have a beautiful, beautiful, spectacular day, week, life. Peace. And remember always through your heart, boo. Through your heart, boo. Damn.